It's your girl Jahaira, and I am back with my very first official #1 in the Tea Time series. I had given a lot of thought to what I would be discussing for my premiere episode in the series, and I had thought about using some of the messages that I've received from all of y'all on the YT regarding issues and stuff that you were going through that you kind of wanted to talk about through me. But I thought to myself that the best thing for me to do was to bring one of my own dilemmas to y'all's attention, and we could pour the tea and discuss it, honey. Incidentally, I thought about having a little cup of tea or something like that, but I just said that's too much. And I was actually going to do this video tomorrow because I wanted to look a bit cuter than this, but you know something? If you know what it's like when you just know that you're not going to be able to put head to pillow until you discuss something, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, getting to the tea and the cigarette. Um, what I wanted to talk about was really the fact that I, as most of y'all know by now, spent the week in Boston having my wisdom teeth removed, and my mother lives in Boston, whereas I live in New York, as some of you may recall. My mother and I have a kind of interesting relationship. We are the best of friends. There's really no question about that. She has been my rock, my #1 fan, my hugest supporter, and a champion of every single one of my causes for as long as I can remember. She is one of the most tolerant, open-minded, patient, amazingly, hysterically funny women that I know. But as it is with all best friends, sometimes we go at it, and we will be at each other's throats. Holla if you hear me, y'all. But it kind of struck me while I was up in Boston this week, spending a lot, and whoa, do I mean a lot of quality time with my mother. Well, it wasn't always quality, but it was definitely time. Is that my mother turned 65 years old this past May. And my grandmother's birthday was July 4th. She just turned 93. Shouts out to my grandmother. But yeah, my mom is 65 years old. And for those of you who don't know, I'm 31. But 65, I mean, traditionally speaking, in the eyes of, American legal system and what have you, is the age of, official senior citizenship. And it's sort of foreboding to me. That age is like the beginning of, the sunset of your life. And it struck me as I was in Boston, on the balcony, having a cigarette, the whole 9 yards, that, my mother's not getting any younger. And the day will come when I'll have to be responsible for her the way she's responsible now for her own mother, and take care of her the way my mother's taking care of my grandmother. And it kind of, ooh, okay, disclaimer, 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 it's about to get very real. It kind of fucked me up, y'all, because I just feel so unequipped to deal with that kind of responsibility. And that's my mother, and my mother has always been there for me in a pinch. And believe me, when you've had the life that I've had, you've had a really significant number of pinches. It frightened me. It still frightens me. And I just kind of wanted to talk to all of y'all about this. If you're a woman of a certain age, as I am, and you have a mother who's, thanks be to God, still with you, or any relative that you find yourself responsible for that matter, um, what is that like? What does it feel like for y'all when you become cognizant of the fact that eventually the tables will turn, and that figure that has always seemed invincible to you suddenly begins to show some cracks in the armor? What is it like when the person that has always been responsible for you ends up needing you to be responsible for them? I'm still kind of processing this, and it scares me to no end because, you know, I don't know about all of y'all, but when I'm around my mother, it's really difficult to remember that I'm 31 because she's still very, I know that's a really technical term, right? But it's still really like that. I feel like I'm 9 again, and sometimes it's like, Ma, I've I can do this. I'm rather old. I'm fairly well seasoned, and I don't think mothers ever seem to get that or to comprehend that. But when that time comes, that and I should state for the record, my mother is physically incredibly strong. I mean, she's in much better shape than, well, we can start with me and the majority of women that are 65 years old. I mean, my mother is in the gym. She's, toned and muscular. She's sharp as a tack mentally. I mean, it's not like there's some pressing issues going on, although, she's discussed some things that later on down the line are probably going to have to be taken care of, medically speaking. But so I'm not in some immediate danger that I know of there, but for the grace of God. But now that she's at that age, she's not getting any younger, and I'm going to have to eventually figure out how best to care for the woman who has unconditionally loved and cared for me. So that's the dilemma at hand, people. How does one handle that? Are you in that position? If so, how are you taking care of your loved ones, or how are you preparing to take care of your loved ones? Because for all of us that are fortunate and blessed enough to still have our parents or our caregivers with us, um, the point is going to arrive that we have to put the shoe on the other foot. So that's the dilemma, people. I'd love to hear from you guys. Comments, video responses are welcome. I really would like to get a dialogue going. What to do when mom is getting older? Hit me up. Let me know. I'm really messed up about this. I'd love to hear from you guys. So, in the meantime, hope all is well, and I will definitely be seeing y'all for the very next tea time. And sending your ideas, whatever issues you're dealing with. Again, all responses are anonymous. I fully intend to stay true to that unless specifically requested that I put your name out there by you. I'm out of here, y'all. Hope to hear from you soon. One love.